Okay, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Trademark Sports Podcast. Today we've got some news to talk about, some injuries, that sort of thing. Some exciting news just for the podcast in general as well. And then we're going to talk about some awful news surrounding Liechardt Oval, some weird news, my tips, and then answering your guys' questions for this week. So first off, some good news is hopefully I have a bit more time to make the podcast over the next couple of months. So just in terms of the actual content in the podcast should increase. So if you're happy about that, make sure you drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully just some more content to the YouTube channel as well. Just the schedule is going to be freed up just a little bit, which is awesome news for the channel. Let's just honestly get straight into it with these injuries. It's actually ridiculous, the star power that is on the sidelines at the moment. This season's been crazy so far. So from the weekend, we have Mitch Moses with a foot fracture for 8 weeks as a minimum. Reece Walsh has a face fracture for 4 to 6 weeks from Taylor May. Nathan Cleary has done his hammy out for 2 to 4 weeks. Same as Lindsay Collins out for 2 to 4 weeks with a hammy. And you got Scott Sorensen with a knee for 3 to 4 weeks. Bryce Cartwright broken rib for 6 to 8 weeks. Toby Rudolph with a foot injury for 4 weeks. Finucane has another concussion, so he's out for 1 week. Tuapiki, he's out with a concussion for 1 week. Tino, so his ACL is out for the season. That's such devastating news for the Titans. Ruben Cotter is ankle 1 to 2 weeks. He's been named this week, but I don't think he's playing. Cameron Murray limped off in training. Brendan Piacora limped off in training, wasn't named. And Sandon Smith is on his elbow for 3 to 6 weeks. That's ridiculous. And especially if that Nathan Cleary hamstring injury doesn't recover in time and Mitch Moses' foot fracture is over that 8 weeks. New South Wales Origin, halfback stocks look pretty bleak. Anyway, so that's, honestly nuts, the amount of injuries that are going on in the NRL at the moment. And that's like not even talking about like your Payne Haas's, that sort of thing. It's literally just from last weekend. It's nuts. There's like plenty of players who are out with injury at the moment across the whole league. It's just some of the like stars that are on the sides we don't get to watch over Easter weekend. Basically, all these guys just wanted to have an extra long Easter weekend and actually have it off this time. So yeah, that's the conspiracy there. News, okay. So I think his name's Peter Minns. It's the New South Wales sport minister. He has come out and said that there is not enough funding for a rebuild updated facilities, whatever, at Liechardt Oval, which, let's be honest, is absolute bullshit. They're doing a massive renovation at Penrith starting next year. I think you could almost honestly put that on hold and build up Liechardt first because it's in dire need. You've also just done Allianz Stadium, and the other week was talking about funding and a Las Vegas team that went over there 5 times a year and all this sort of stuff, and then played in Sydney for the rest of the time. So it's what do you mean you got no money? When I think there's somewhat, I don't know what it is, but there seems to be a clear bias against Liechardt Oval because like this chat about them not being able to use Liechardt in the NRL, like it's not a good enough facility. It's been around for years, to be honest. Like I feel like I've seen it for the last couple of years that they go, this is the last time we're going to be playing at Liechardt Oval. But this time it seems quite official. So it's devastating news, honestly. It's one of the better grounds in rugby league in terms of just the culture and atmosphere. Like I've never personally been there myself. If we actually are not having any more games there, I definitely will be making sure I get out to a game before that ceases to exist, because it's one of those things, rugby league folklore. Sunday Arvo, Tigers game at Liechardt Oval. You think of that, you just think of Benji putting on a dazzling display. I think it was a try against the Sharks, where he just has some of the most insane nuts stepping of all time. There's so many things ingrained into rugby league culture at Liechardt Oval. The Balmain Tigers, just through and through. It's honestly quite upsetting. Tigers fans love that place. We saw how good they played on the weekend there. Was it at Liechardt that Alex Tor scored his first try? Might have been Campbelltown. Either way, that's not really that important in terms of this, but yeah, it seems like the Tigers just there's something not quite right about the whole situation. To me, it frustrates me. I think if you build up Liechardt a bit, just want another one of those like Sydney suburban stadiums that are just rugby league through and through, and I would hate to see it go, to be honest. Look, let's get into my tips for this week. So we got Panthers versus the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. It's a tough one because look, both teams have a few out, which again obviously makes it tough. But look, the Panthers are, end of the day, still the Panthers. But at the end of the day, the thing is, like, right, the Panthers are still the Panthers. Even without Cleary and without James Fisher-Harris, they're still such a nuts side. Like, I watched Brad Snyder slot in, and be a gun. Be like when Sean O'Sullivan replaced Cleary, or who's the other one that came in last year? Jack Cogger. Like, everyone just seems to slot in so well and play unreal footy. Like, looking at the team list just here, the Roosters side is very strong. But I am going to tip the Penrith Panthers in a bit of an upset there, which is crazy to say because Penrith aren't often outsiders. Then we move on to Rabbitohs versus the Bulldogs. Rabbitohs are in awful form, aren't they? They look terrible. At least we know now that it's not Lockie Ellis that's the problem. Anyway, the Doggies got a good win on the weekend, but yeah, look, you match up the sides. Rabbitohs absolutely should win. If they lose this one, massive warning signs. They probably should make light work of the Bulldogs, if I'm absolutely honest. And I do think that they will. Maybe not make light work of them, but I think they'll definitely win. So I'm tipping the Rabbitohs there. Then the other Friday night game is Broncos versus the Cowboys. Broncos without Reece Walsh this week. Adam Reynolds does come back in, which is a huge help for them. But their 4-pack does look pretty bleak. Corey Jensen, Fletcher Baker, Jaden Hunt. Tough. I know it's at Suncorp, and like the backline is still phenomenal. Corey Oates on the bench, interesting. But anyway, I am going to be tipping the North Queensland Cowboys. I think they've looked really, really good. Back to their 2022 level form. And we've got Dragons versus Manly at Wollongong. Manly hate playing there. Dragons full strength. So are Manly, basically. It's tough. I'm gonna tip the Dragons at home. I'm a Dragons fan. What can I say? Then we've got Titans versus the Dolphins. Titans suck. They look pretty awful this year. Dolphins look okay. Haven't looked fantastic, really. They've got Ray Stankham back this week. Yes, the Titans also have Jaden Campbell coming back, but I don't... Yeah, he's not going to change their whole team around, to be honest. Their 4-pack, despite the personnel, look quite soft. So, yeah, tough blow for the Titans fans this season, to be honest. Then you've got Warriors taking on the Knights. Warriors in New Zealand. Tuvasashek at fullback. So excited to see that. The Knights had an unchanged side. Leah Thompson's out, so you've got both Saifiti boys starting. Brody Jones under the bench. But yeah, New Zealand. Warriors win that one. And then you've got the Sharks taking on the Raiders. Now, Raiders upset the Sharks here. Sharks looked awful last week. They probably will bounce back, but I think the Raiders, honestly this year so too good for them. You got Elliot Whitehead coming back in the side as well. Like Zach Hoskins being one of the form players of the comp. He's come off the bench this week. Sebastian Chris is back. Yeah, look, I do think the Raiders get the job done there. Like, you got Talakai in the second row. Their outs this week are Dale Finucane, Royce Hunt, and Toby Rudolph. They're massive for their 4-pack, and the Raiders' strength is their 4-pack. So, could be a tough day out for the Sharkies, to be honest. And Easter Monday, Eels versus Tigers. This could go either way, obviously, but like Eels without like Dylan Brown at the 7 and Blaze Talangi at the 6 is interesting because they're like literally the same dude. And then for the Tigers, they looked really good last week. No massive sort of inclusions or admissions for that side. I'm going to get the Eels, but I dead set would not be surprised to see the Tigers get a win there. Okay, now that the tips are done, let's get into your questions for the week. First up, we have from Matthew Hasarati. Awesome name. He said, do you think the Dragons made the right choice in improving their depth instead of a big signing? Yes, because they can't land a big signing at the moment. They're still going to build it from within, try and have competition for the spots so that those like base level players get better and better, and then players can sort of see what's building at the Dragons and try and land a marquee player. I don't think splashing on their cash on a marquee guy who might not necessarily want to be there, want to play for them, just collect a paycheck and run is a good idea for the Dragons right now. So look, yes, they haven't been great to start the season, let's be honest, but I don't think it's panic signs just yet. We're not trying to win the comp this year. That's not what this is about. It's a rebuild. It's not trying to win the comp this season. Joel Purcell asks, how does Blaze Talangi go at 6 for Para? Very excited to watch him there, to be honest, because his best positions are fullback or 6. Comes with the grades as a 6. As I said before, he's basically Dylan Brown 2.0. He's so good. So surprised, not surprised, because he's played a bit of centres and stuff, but wasn't really expecting him to play centres in the NRL and go that good. The sheer contact to burst through turbo to score his first try in the NRL, ridiculous. Massive future for the kid. Ball running half, so 2 ball running halves. I expect not a lot of ball for the edges this week for Parramatta, so take out your centres and your second rows of the your anytime try scorers. Junior Paulo, ATS is one to watch for you. But yeah, really excited for Blaze Talangi. I think he'll go really well this weekend. Then we've got Jake_RG asking thoughts on Kyle Iro debuting and Talakai shifting to second row. Given the personnel that are out, you sort of have to at the Sharks. The depth in the forwards isn't fantastic. I know Billy Burns is coming on the bench. My guy Billy Burns. Yes. Anyway, Kyle Iro. If you listen to Rugby League Guru talk about him, he's apparently the next best thing. It seems fantastic. Seems like a really good rugby league player. Fantastic rugby league name, if I can learn to pronounce it right. But Talakai in the second row does kind of concern me a little bit. He's been really good so far for the Sharks this year, like being in best form since he's played Origin. So shifting him in a little bit, it could be a very big target for especially a team like the Raiders. So we'll see how it goes. Like, it could be an absolute masterstroke and they stay there for the rest of the year. That's one of those things that could go either way. It could either be a masterstroke or be the worst thing the Sharkies have done. And then we've got Buckle a read saying, do I think the Titans stay out of the bottom 4? Do I think the Titans stay out of the bottom 4? Wait, no, sorry. Next one is from Buckle a read. Said, do I think Titans stay bottom 4 if they stay injury free from now? So that's assuming Fafita comes back. Look, I'm going to be honest. Yes. It doesn't seem like the systems that the Titans wanted to put in place have started well so far, obviously, but it is also round 4 this week. It's going to be the third game the Titans have played under Desi in the NRL, so these things do take time to gel. But losing Tino is massive. It's honestly huge for them. That cat sucks. Their forwards haven't aimed up. Kieran Foran might be done. That sounds bad to say. He's played 1 game back this season. Give him some time, I guess, but he definitely didn't hit the ground running. Their attack just looks so gross too, especially against the Dragons. Like, they could not spread the ball on the line. There's so many guys just like one off the ruck. There was one off the ruck. There was no creativity, no flair, no flamboyance. We usually sort of expect with the Titans. So Jaden Campbell coming in this weekend might help that. We don't know, but yeah, it certainly doesn't look very good for the Titans. I don't know, like on paper they're not a bottom 4 side, so see what happens there, but certainly has not been a good start. And then last question, Campbell_2408 says, are the Cowboys back to premiership contenders now? Were they ever premiership contenders? Like, for lack of for the phrase, I don't know. Like 2022, yes, they were literally 1 try away from a grand final, like 1 forward pass away from a grand final, but I still don't think they would have got smoked in that grand final, to be honest. Premiership contenders, I don't know, top 4, yeah, looks like it, to be honest. They look fantastic. Even with Tomalo, they're playing like 4 minutes a game. The Cowboys look really good. Scott Drinkwater has been phenomenal. He'll probably get the Dally M this year. He's been so good. I don't know how he's not topping the polls at the moment. Nico Hines is, and he hasn't been fantastic. But it's not about Nico Hines, it's about the Cowboys. Reece Robinson's been sensational. Chad Townsend's hit some form. Tommy did, and just gets better and better. Their second row stocks are ridiculous. Their front row forwards have been really standing up. The Cowboys, like Valentine Holmes as well, dude. Whew, far out. Yeah, the Cowboys look in red hot form. If they can keep it up for these, like for the next 24 weeks, absolutely, they could take some scalps in the finals. Winning a comp, I'm not so sure just yet, but well, they're certainly tough to beat, especially if they can get a home final, like home prelim in North Queensland again. I don't think they'll let that one slip again. So yeah, really, really exciting times for the Cowboys. That takes us to the end of another episode this week. Another short one. Fingers crossed from now we can get some longer episodes, more content out for you guys. So make sure you subscribe so you're around for that. Like the video and leave a comment about who you're most excited to see play this weekend. Let us know what you're up to this weekend. If you're going away for the Easter long weekend, what you're doing. If you're heading down to the pub with your mates, watch one of the games. Just let us know. All right. Thanks for watching. Remember to Scotty, drink your water, and Bradman, do your best.